Okay, hello and welcome to GP Thraben Round 3. I'm under a little time crunch, so I'm going to probably get started soon, but the last two matches were very easy matchups. This one is not. This is probably gotta be the worst matchup for this deck. Ricky's on tons of removal, Geist Blasters, Sistral Charm, Strangles down there, tons of counterspells, Overrule Will, Unravel Sots, and actually can present a clock with Ominous Frogs, Ripper, and Angler. So, it's good. We're going to be the beatdown. Um, just got to land a threat. Gonna keep presenting them threats until being on the play is nice. Keep presenting threats until they're not able to answer one. That's how we have to play this. Turn 2 Teeming Secrets, turn 3. Oh, wait, there's a Root Fossil in there. Turn 1 Root Fossil, turn 2 Crack Root Fossil or cast or Teeming Secrets. Probably Crack Root Fossil. Turn 3 Grove Tender, turn 4 Grove Tender. I think I keep this. I prefer to have a 2-mana threat rather than 2-mana ramp, but I don't think I can mulligan into that. I'm just going to play out this island and this root fossil. Oh, it's Philippe's root fossil, not Ricky's. Okay, what are we seeing? Island, probably Discern or nothing. Discern or Thought Scour are the two cantrips in that deck. Clearwater is great to see. Do I Teeming or Root Fossil is a good question. I think I'd rather Teeming because Root Fossil gives me a thing to do through counter magic later. Teeming also does something if it whiffs, and I'm going to Teeming right now instead of letting them play a land and potentially leave up. A leave up counter magic for Teeming. Teeming. Look my top 3. Probably just looking for a land here. Definitely. Reconservatory is probably pretty good here. Yeah. I could take the Surveil 1, but my next turn's already spoken for, I think. Yeah, just take Reconservatory. That could definitely become a relevant card this game. That's 2 lands in graveyard, so I'm 5 towards Ancient. Yeah, good news, they have no way of ever removing cards from my graveyard. Not Thought Scour? Okay, Discern is better than Thought Scour for me here. I don't want them filling their graveyard too fast. And Flashback Discern is like, I'm hoping to apply enough pressure they can't do that. Would love to draw a 2-drop here. Be able to go 2-drop plus Crack Root Fossil on my next turn. Play around Overrule Will. But if I have to just run out Umber Grove Tender, hope it doesn't get countered, that's also perfectly fine. Yeah. I think if we both get our best possible draws, Ricky is favored, just like answer my 1-drop, answer my 2-drop, answer my 3-drop. Ooh, Ominous Frogs. So yeah, running out the threat here. Going to give me a window to resolve Umber Grove Tender, which is very appreciated. A Roar. Ugh, I'd love to sneak in a Roar through the counter magic. I'm assuming that's why they played Ominous Frogs now, while I can't a Roar. This is just Umber Grove Tender. See what happens. Yep. Umber Grove Tender. That frog is going to deal a lot of damage to me. Okay, Forest into play tapped. And I could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm only at 7 lands for Ancient, so it's just going to be a tapped Clearwater here. They're going to have to remove Umber Grove Tender, of course. The hope is that they don't have mana for remove Umber, also counter a Roar. They're going to Shock and a Misty Peak. Yep. I'm going to take my 2. Okay, they're going to let me go. Interesting. So this gives me a choice. I can either cast an Umber Grove Tender. That plays around Overrule Will. And it lets me like follow up with Crack Root Fossil. Or I could try to just run the Aurora out, hope they don't have a counterspell. I think it's going to be the one major decision I make this game. So I play Umber. What am I'm mostly afraid of. Unravel Sauce is the most annoying thing they could have here. If I play Umber, they unravel it. I guess I get to crack Root Fossil. If they play Umber, um, they don't have Unravel, then they probably kills this Umber. I get another Umber trigger. I play Aurora, that also means I'm vulnerable to Overrule Will. But if they had Overrule Will, would they have left it up instead of playing Omnith Frogs? No, I think they probably still would have run out Omnith Frogs. I think I'm going to play the Umber here. I think filtering my draws is good. Taxing out their answers is good. Um, playing around Overrule Will is good. Play Umber. Maybe I should have attacked for one first, but unlikely to super matter. Okay, that makes them sink. Obviously, they let me get two Umber triggers. That's never going to happen. They're going to have either Geist Blast, either a removal spell for this Umber or a counter spell for this Umber. Otherwise, they would not have shocked in the Misty Peak. Yeah, it's Unravel. Shocking in Misty Peak is a strong hint that it was Unravel. Take one off the frogs. Yep. Could be bounce theoretically, but I assume it's counter. Okay, well, I'm not blocking, so I'm going to attack. I get to crack Root Fossil, set up my next draw. Yep. Cracking Root Fossil will probably get me Ancient, so these Shades of Patterns will be online. I can just start slamming a roar into a roar into a roar. Hopefully that's good enough. Let me just remember what the backside of this does. 3 or less at random. Okay, so it can't hit Unravel Saw. Take 2. My life total does matter, so I don't love taking this damage. They're going to ship it back. Oh, wait. Haven't untapped yet. Okay, I haven't actually untapped or done anything, so it should be fine for me to crack Root Fossil. Look at my top 3. There is a land in there. Okay, interesting. So obviously the Lush Oasis is going onto the battlefield. That's going to put me to 6 lands in play. So Aurora is still vulnerable to counter magic. Um, hmm. So I could bin all of them, but I like the idea of Setral Shaper, Shape the Pattern, Voice of the Old Grove all in one turn with the Umber Grove Tender in play as a way to kind of like try to press past their answers. They left up 4 mana. Presumably they have at least one answer. And so I'm going to bin this Prying Hydra. It seems unlikely I'm going to be able to set that up. I'm going to bin this Lush Oasis, and then I'm going to bring it back tapped. I'm going to leave the Setral Shaper there. Root Fossil is in graveyard and is a thing I can cast. Oops. Now I untap. Draw the Shaper. Okay, now ordering is important. Do I want... Which one do I want to resolve? I'd much rather resolve the voice. So I should probably do it first? Yeah, I think this is shape for voice, play it. And then follow up with Setral Shaper, which can at least block Ominous Frogs if I need it to. Playing 2 threats in a turn, classic way to play against control. Root Fossil is also an option. But I want to play Druids, obviously. Shapes the pattern. Okay. Grab Voice of the Old Grove. Cast Voice. They could kill Umber in response. Geist Blasters is only 3 right now, but it's going to be 4 pretty soon. If they kill Umber in response, I flashback Root Fossil instead of playing Setral Shaper. Because it spends my mana more efficiently, and Setral Shaper doesn't do anything. Like, the reason I want to get Setral Shaper instead of Root Fossil is so I can Umber trigger. They're a little ways off from playing their terrors. Oh, Unravel. Oh, second Unravel. They only have 3 of those, I think. And take my 1 off Frogs. Counter spell mode, presumably. And that's just my excuse to just run out Setral Shaper, I think. Get me an Umber trigger, unless they have specifically Geist Blasters here. Umber trigger. Look at my top 1. Clearwater. Excellent. That gets me a Setral Shaper trigger. Flipping Setral Shaper is a super relevant line in this matchup, by the way. Look at my top 1. Temple. I'm going to bin that, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I already have a Roar through Overrule Will, so I can just bin that. And the Tetral Shaper can block Ominous Frogs if they don't remove it. I guess I'm going to attack Umber Grove Tender again, because I'm certainly not blocking with it. Okay, this is mostly doing what I wanted to do. Yeah, Discern. I take my 1 off of the Frogs. Okay, flipping Frogs is a actually legitimately annoying thing they could do here. I guess Unravel Thoughts is just Unsummon right now. Unsummon not the greatest thing against Umber Grove Tender. But still, flipped Frogs is a problem. Sistral Charm on the Shaper. Oh yeah, it does still have counters on it, doesn't it? Yeah, that's how that works. Well, I just gotta hope they hit the Discerns, I guess. Wait, no, does it remove all counters from it? I forget how this works. Oh, it does remove all counters. Okay. Okay, really hoping it hits Discern. Oh, it's Discern. Okay. I'll gladly take my 4 and let that happen. Obviously, still not ideal, but something. Tapped Fissure. So I'm gonna get to resolve this Aurora. That's at least nice. I'm at 8, though, so... Ooh, Voice of the Old Grove. Still suspicious there might be an Overrule Will in there somewhere. It would explain a lot of their hemming and hawing. I really need to find a way to get Voice and Aurora into play at the same time. It's going to be tricky. If they have Overrule. See, I go for a Roar. And then I go for Voice and it gets countered. Like, if I can get the Aurora, if I can get this combo off, I win. I think I go for a Roar, I go for Voice, I let them Overrule, I hope they whiff off of Scourge with the Overrule, and then I can shape for another Voice the following turn. That's gotta be my main path to victory here. Aurora. Ooh. We're going to assist roll the Umber Grove Center. Okay. So I'm going to resolve this voice as well. Makes you kind of wish. Actually, yeah. So I'm going to get my Surveil 3. Look at my top 3. Voice. I probably just keep voice on top here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see the line. I see the line. Forest and Temple to Grave. Everything comes back. I have a Desolate Thicket trigger, which I'm going to ignore. And then I'm going to put a Voice of the Old Grove in play. Okay. Just reorganize my lands properly. Okay. I think a lot of it might come down to this Scourge trigger. They can't deal 5 damage to a Roar, and their only way of removing it from the board is Unravel Thoughts. They got 2 in the graveyard, 1 still out there somewhere, so unlikely to have in hand. If they attach with Scourge, and they Sistral Charm, and they target a Roar, do I chump with Voice? I think it's got to be my out. But I'm going to have to go for lethal next turn. Which means I possibly just let... I think I just let the Scourge hit me. None of their burn hits face. So unless they play a Cordelia's Ripper, which they could, I don't actually have to block... I don't actually have to block the Scourge. I can go to 4, go Voice off the top, shape for the last Voice, because there's 1 in graveyard, 1 on top of my library, 1 in play. Attack of a Roar, and that'll presumably put enough with however many voices they let me have. It's going to win me the game. So they need to have something here. Cordelia's Ripper. Let me read that card closely. Any target, so they can 5 me with Cordelia's Ripper and may force me to block Scourge. And if they also Sistral Charm Aurora has to die. But I might be able to kill off of Voice, attack, even just off Aurora Enter trigger. They have everything like any spells they cast before Scourge attack, like dilutes their ability to get Sistral or Unravel Thoughts. They play Path of Scales. That's extremely fine by me. What, I just get them a bunch of cards? They can give my creatures -1, -0. That super doesn't matter. Their only instant is their only 1 mana instant is Geist Blasters, but that's only 4 right now, right? So it can't kill a Roar. And Path Scales puts on bottom of library, not graveyard. So yeah, I think I might actually have this one. I mean, it was looking pretty dicey for a while, but I think they just ran out of answers on this turn. It's going to take something pretty specific for them to get out of this. I guess what they need is Geist Blasters on Voice, Scourge hits Unravel on a Roar. In that case, I don't have an... I have Buffery Conservatory. Wait, how's my mana looking? If a Roar gets bounced, I need 5 to cast a Roar, 3 to level a Buffery Conservatory, and then I need to play at least 1 Voice, probably 2. Do I have that much mana? I might be short a little mana for doing that. Okay. Oh, they have 2 mana up now. That does enormously matter. Because it means that Overrule Will they've been threatening, they could have it now. Oh, they're playing a Frogs right now. Okay, they got their shields completely down, and I think this is lethal unless I get extremely unlucky. Um, uh, I think this is. I think I'm good. They hit discern again. Take my one off the frogs. Is it just free to block here? They have 0 mana available, right? They can't do anything for free. I guess I just block in case something really weird happens and they get another turn. They already play a land. Yeah, okay, they're just extremely dead. Okay, let's do this in the right order, just to make absolutely sure nothing bad happens to me. Um, it's play Voice of the Old Grove, shape the pattern for Voice of the Old Grove, play Voice of the Old Grove, crack Primal Fissure. I do have a forest left to get, yep. Put 9 counters on it. And then crack. Okay, that's already lethal, but I can crack Desolate Thicket. Put a counter on each. Yep, there we go. Nice. That's how we have to win that game. They let us. They didn't have enough answers. They let us have the combo. So out of whoops, no, I'm already sorry. Out of their sideboard, they got Faces of the Faceless, which is something. It doesn't stop us from getting ancient, but can stop us from doing things while we're there. Turns off a roar. Burn It All Down's probably coming in as well. But their main deck's already pretty good against us. On our end, I think these Root Fossils, I don't like the Faces of the Faceless turning them off. I still want to roar, obviously. I'm going to turn in 2 Collector's Item, and I think this Blight Stalker's pretty nice. Collector's Item, I don't want to be stuck with too many Collector's Items if they have a no creature draw, which they can easily have. But some of them for turning off their high impact creatures is really nice. Blightstalker doesn't work through faces, but it can just uh, really turn off their game plan there if they're not on the Frog's game plan. Golden Bloom to turn off faces is something, but I think this is about where I want to be. Maybe the Prying Hydra's not good. They're just not going to let me have. Yeah. It does have reach. 5 mana large reach. Now, Prying Hydra can come out. 1 Golden Bloom, I think, can come in. Golden Bloom, Name of the Dark is Cordelia's Ripper. Okay. What are we looking at here? This hand pays a lot of life to Desolate Sick is what it does. Turn 1, Huskforger. Turn 2, Teeming Secrets can't spend Huskforger mana because they don't have anywhere to spend Colorless. I think I might even mulligan this. I don't like redundant Huskforger. It's redundant Teeming Secrets. I take a lot of life to Desolate Thicket. I'm on the draw. I kind of want my 2s and 3s. I think it's the mull. My first time mulliganing this tournament. Doesn't happen often, but I think I can mulligan this. Yeah, I like this a lot better. Put back redundant Cetral Shaper. Keep Umber Grove Tender, bunch of 2-drops. Obviously, we'd love a Huskforger draw, but we can't just mulligan hands that don't have Huskforger. Huskforger Umber Grove Tender is a great opening, of course. Fissure makes sense. It's a forest. Sure, just play Temple. Ship the turn. Going to be turn to Cetral Shaper, probably. Which is probably going to eat a removal spell of some kind. Ooh, Sot Scour. This could easily matter. Ooh. Mills Island Discern. Okay, Milling Discern's not great for me, but could have been worse, I guess. Shock in Misty Peak. Gonna leave up 2. Yep. Okay. This is interesting. This smells like Overrule. This could be Overrule, it could be Sistral Charm. I think I'm gonna pass Teeming Secrets on their end step. Only if they've drawn other Discerns or Thought Scours can they actually spend the mana. The ramp is nice. It lets me double spell on my following turn. Do I Teeming Secrets right now to play around Counterspell? Yeah, I mean, I have no other instance in my deck, so it's not like I'm threatening anything. Teeming Secrets. There's just no reason to let them have the ability to counter this. Ooh, Voice, Aurora, Clearwater. I think it is just Clearwater here, as much as I do love, these cards are both very important in this matchup. Just getting to 4 mana is really important, so gonna have to do the ramp here. Obviously, but you're always planning to hope Team Secrets. You want to hit a ton of land for your things. No, I got things I would love to target with my Blightstalker. Although it's not super urgent. I don't think they're flashing back to Discern anytime soon. And if they go for... They'd have to still pay a lot of mana for one of their terrors. So I'd be able to Collector's Item it and get the tempo that way. Oh, it's the Frogs. And a tapped Rousing Path. Okay, I'm probably just going to Collector's Item that and run out probably a Sethral Shaper. Yeah, I could... It could be an Umber Grove Tender time. Always good to get an Umber Grove Tender to play when you can, but I think Double Spelling is nice. Collector's Item, their Frogs is nice. Sethral Shaper first, so I get the Landfall trigger is nice. And a counter. View my top 1. Another Umber. I think I don't need more than 3 of them. I'd rather draw a land next turn. So I'm going to bin that. And then I'm going to Collector's Items, their Ominous Frogs. I get to Surveil 2. 2 Husk Forgers. No, I don't want any Husk Forgers right now. I have nothing to ramp into. Okay. That was a pretty effective turn. I dealt with their turn 3 play and developed a threat on my turn 3. That's what you want to do when you're on the draw. Now, unfortunately, Geist Blasters hits Planeswalkers as well, so Strangle and Geist Blasters gives them 2 different answers to Planeswalkers, unless I can get an enormous amount of loyalty on Sethral Shaper, which, to be fair, I certainly can. Strangle? Does it look like Strangle? Yep. One mana for 2 mana. Is a good exchange for them. And a passive 2 mana up. Smells like either of their 2 mana answers. Teeming Secrets. Okay, this is just Blightstalker leave up Blightstalker activation and Teeming Secrets. I don't want to run Umber Grove Tender into potential things. Blightstalker? How do you feel about this? And no, they can't actually Sistral Charm this on my turn. They have to Sistral Charm it on their turn. Ooh, interesting. Giving me the option to pay the 2 here. They still get some mill either way. The teaming secrets is not, like, that urgent. I'd rather just get this Blightstalker in play, force them to deal with it. Well, they mill a bunch of spells, which is not what I wanted to see. They mill an Unravel Sod, I guess, mainly. Missing land drops doesn't feel good in this deck. I have not seen that many lands in my 26 land deck, but that happens sometimes, especially when you mulligan. Cordelia's Ripper gets milled. I would like them to not have too many of those. You got 5 in graveyard, so Ripper costs 4, and is quite good here if they have the untapped land. And the other one, how much the other one cost? It's 7 discounted. So that one costs 2, but it's just a vanilla 5/5, so I can deal with it for a while. Oh, Strangle as well, so it costs 1. Sure. Milled an Angler and some lands. Love to see it. Ooh, they had both. Okay, yeah, that's probably going to be game for me. Ripper is a problem. Okay, Airy. I'm very far from being ancient here. Airy can block and trade with a Cordelia's Ripper. Kind of my only play that does anything here. Yeah, this hand just kind of didn't work out. Didn't find all the lands I needed. Didn't find they had a lot of threats. I couldn't deal with their graveyard, etc., etc. Okay. That's I think it actually just is that lethal? No, it's 11. Wow, that's a heck of a draw they got there. I don't think I'm gonna be able to deal with that. I'm not. Okay. Wow. Okay. Nasty. Maybe I'm supposed to let. If I had other things to do other than collect than their frogs, I would have done them. But it was just like the most efficient thing I could do by far. Maybe this Blightstalker is just no good. I just don't have time for this. Eh. No, it's probably fine, especially on the play. Okay, we're 1-1 going into game 3. Yeah, that was a mulligan. It was an awkward draw. They had a very good draw. That happens. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something about playing this deck. It's been a lot easier to schedule my matches. These have been pretty fast. Uh, this is the first one that's gone to game 3, and it's still not lasted that long. I could put in more Golden Bloom, but once again, I do want to be assertive and present threats they have to deal with early, not give them time to do stuff like play passive scales, play all their cantrips, flashback discerns. Yeah, give me a hand where I can just go turn 1 Huskforge, return to Umber on the play. Let me just do that. Umber Grosvenor certainly put in the work game 1. I don't know how many Umber triggers I got, but it was a lot. Okay. Playing for auto top cut here. And I think I keep this. Yeah, turn 1 Huskforger, turn 2 Setral plus land. Going towards an Aurora soon. Setral plus Crack Primal Fissure even. Sure. Keep 7. Temple on green-blue. That's a Huskforger. Which they could kill. They got 8 removal spells for this. 8? No, they don't. Not 8. 6. They got 6 removal spells for this. Island. They do not have the removal. They don't have interaction of any kind this turn. Another Primal Fissure, so this is going to be the Setral Shaper. And this might be a flip Setral Shaper game. It's going to be very big if they don't kill it soon. Primal Fissure. Setral Shaper trigger. And actually what I should do is crack in response, because I want the Tooth or Veils after. Because now I get Tooth or Veils after I shuffle. A Roar? No, I don't need that. Temple. Huh. I guess I have my 5 on for Roar, so Ring Huskport doesn't die. Already? So I'll bin Temple. Next turn, if I don't have anything better to do, it's just Primal Fissure, flip Setral Shaper. They'll have 5 loyalty. It's not bad. I got a Sot Scour, hoping for no instants or sorceries milled here. Yeah, Island Primal Fissure. Love to see it. That slows them down a decent amount. Means Geist Blasters no longer doesn't kill Setral Shaper right now. That's relevant. Got Frostfire Geysers. Do they have the kill on Setral Shaper this turn? They might not. Untap, draw an unknown card. The Desolate Sicket. Yeah. I mean, they could have Sistral Charm for Setral Shaper, but whatever. I don't have anything better to do with my time. I could play a blind Golden Bloom, but there's just no reason to do that. Primal Fissure. Hold priority, crack in response. If they want to kill Setral Shaper, they want to do it right now, so I don't get the second Surveil, but they are not killing it. Grab Forest. So I get counter, counter. Go my top 1. Umber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not getting Ancient this turn, so I only get 1 Shaper activation. Umber's a good card, and they're not applying any pressure to me. I do like just getting Umber. I can Golden Bloom their first threat if I have to. I'm probably going to plus Setral Shaper once I flip. Assuming they let me do that. I think I just keep Umber. I think that's a pretty good card. I want to have Umbers this game. Yeah. Okay. Flip. Do they have the kill? Has to be Sistral Charm? They do have Sistral Charm. That's annoying. Okay. Oh well. Attack you, Huskporger. 2, 3, 4. I'm very close to Ancient. And they have 2 spells in graveyards. They don't have that much set up. If they just play Frogs, would I Golden Bloom it? Probably not like urgently. Okay, they're leading up 3 mana. Looks a lot like Unravel Thought. I think this is just Forest Umber. If they counter it, maybe play a Naked Golden Bloom. I don't think it's a Roar. I don't think it's a Roar. A Roar means I'm not playing around Overrule Will. I do think it's worthwhile playing around Overrule Will here. I'm going to tap 3 for an Umber Grove Tender. See what they think about this. They're going to let me have it. Okay. Got my top 1. Hoping for a 2-mana Druid. Hoping for Setral Shaper, I think I am hoping for. Look at my top 1. Teeming Secrets. Annoyingly, I only had 1 blue source before because I had to have a Roar mana. So, just going to get to draw that. And do I Golden Bloom? And if so, what do I name? I think if I Golden Bloom, I think it's just Cordelia's Ripper. But they're very far from that. Next turn I'm going to be Ancient. Not that it matters. Yeah, unfortunately I did have to get forest here, otherwise I, wouldn't have Aurora sources. Do I just pass? It's pass or play Golden Bloom. Golden Bloom on Cordelia's Ripper. I guess there's no particular need to do that right now. It could easily be frogs I want to name. I guess the only things I could name with Golden Bloom are frogs, Ripper, and maybe passive scales. Bloom on Ripper does really slows him down. I could name Faces of Faces, but I don't enormously care right now. I have Ancient. I don't think I didn't see Faces last game. I play Golden Bloom this turn. Opens up possibilities of having. I might be. I think I pass. I think I don't. They're not going to have Ripper next turn. Ooh, they might have Ripper next turn. Maybe I should have. They mill a Ripper. They got 4 in graveyard, so Ripper costs 5. Thought Scour. Yeah, they're putting a ton of cards in their graveyard. It's Island Frogs. So Ripper still costs 4. So they need untapped red source, but if they do, it's pretty bad for me. I guess they kill Grove Tender and then I bloom it. Yeah, I think it was actually I should have played Golden Bloom that turn. Just blind name Ripper. I'm not that afraid of frogs from this position, and there's really nothing else to name. If they play Ripper, I do get a roar. Which, that's not bad consolation. And then I can eat some Ripper hits before I Golden Bloom it on a following turn. No, I didn't know. What they got is Strangle, so no Rippers this turn. They got the Angler. It's just a 5/5. I can live that for quite a while. We're leaving up 2 mana conspicuously. The Setral Shaper. 6 mana, so I can go Teeming, Setral Shaper, Golden Bloom, all in one turn, leaving up Teeming Secrets for their turn. Setral Shaper first. See how they feel about this. Yeah, get Setral Shaper. Untapped Desolate Thicket, Setral Trigger. Nothing they can do about that, so they're just going to let me. Another Teeming Secrets. I think at this point, it's a little slow. I don't want Teeming Secrets into Teeming Secrets. So bin that. I can flip Setral Shaper, I guess, but that seems pretty fragile. I'm going to run out Golden Bloom instead. Which they have no answer to. Name Cordelia's Ripper. Ship the turn. Okay. Cordelia's Ripper is now, it still costs 2, but it's a 2 mana 3/4 vanilla. And that I can manage, hopefully. I mean, Angler will kill me eventually, but it's very predictable. Without Cordelia's Ripper, they have no haste damage. It's just Anglers and Frogs. So I can go pretty low, pretty safe. Okay, I'm going to take my 5. If you don't Strangle Sexual Shaper here, I guess Sistral Charm and Geist Blasters are both still answers to it if I try to flip. I'm also pretty close to Block and Pump Huskforger as an answer to Angler. Of course, Instant Speed Burn gets me there, but at least it delays things. I have time. I have like at least 3 turns, and I can start chump blocking Angler eventually. Pay a life. Teaming Secrets. I want my Surveil. Oasis Forest Aurora. I guess I don't. Second Aurora is not that useful here, is it? Hmm. Getting land means my Aurora is guaranteed protected from Overrule Will. I've seen 0 Overrule Will, and they have 4 in deck, so it's extremely likely they have one. They left up 2 mana conspicuously last turn and didn't do anything. They almost certainly have it. So I think I have to take the land. They might still have Unravel, but I I think I just have to accept that here. Oasis, bin the other 2. Setral Shaper trigger, because the land entered. Airy. Huh. I like this idea. Yeah, I like Airy a lot, actually. Obviously, if Unravel, it's not good, but Airy's really interesting here. Oh, and Settle Shaper is dead. Because I think I'm going to run out Airy here. If Airy resolves, then I get to cast a Roar as well. Um, do they have the... And if they don't, I can always go for a Roar following turn. They do have the Unravel. It's going to get countered. Okay, unfortunately, nothing for me to do. I side out my Primal Fissures, my Root Fossils. Should be a lovely thing to have here. I'd love to have access to a Root Fossil for my graveyard at this point, but such is life. Maybe I should have kept in the Root Fossils, side up maybe the Ares? Unclear. Gonna go to end step. I might be put in a situation where I want to chump a Fust Forger. The 1 damage is not going to matter. 1 Unravel down, 2 more out there. Shoot, they shock in Misty Peak. They need that mana. I guess they're looking at Flashback to Sauron, and their life still doesn't super matter, so it makes sense. Activate Glimmerveil. I can always chump with Husk Forger on a later turn. this is actually getting interesting, because I think they still have Overrule Will, so I need Huskforger to not die to actually resolve my Aurora. I think I might need something else as well here. Off the top. Shape the pattern. That's really interesting. Okay. Okay. Okay, I see it. Shape for second copy of Airy Lay Fused. Airy, end step, Aurora. That means I never have to play an Overrule. I end up with an Airy and an Aurora, so I can deal with that attack if they go for it. Yeah, I think that's my play. I don't think I sided out the Hydra, and it wouldn't be good here anyways. Central Shaper. Central Shaper doesn't work because they can turn into a copy anyways. Central Shaper is worth considering because I can play and flip Central Shaper, and then tap down this, draw card. I have a 1 loyalty Central. I'll end up with a 2 loyalty Central Shaper. Option 1, Shape for Airy. Airy, Aurora. They can force me to tap my Husk Forger, or otherwise remove it. So I get Airy and Aurora, but I have to trade Aurora for Angler, chump with Airy. Other options, Shape for Setral. Play Flip Setral, assuming they don't have Sistral Charm or Geist Blasters to kill Setral. But if they have Geist Blasters, I lose either way. And if they have Sistral, I guess if I have Sistral, the other play is better. But assuming they don't have that, Shape, which I don't think they do. Shape for Setral, play it, flip it. I can activate. I have 1 loyalty Setral, tap down Angler, Surveil, puts me dead to them killing Huskforger on their turn. Plus, I have to tap Desolate Sicket for that. I might have to tap Desolate Sicket either way. I'm one mana off Shape for Voice. Play a Roar, which wouldn't work anyway because they have Overrule, I think. Airy and a Roar. Trade a Roar for Angler, but then I trade a Roar for Angler and they have Glimmervale Lake, nothing to copy with it. And I'm just knocking on the top of my deck, I guess. Just, worked for me before. Other option, if it works, I get to keep a Setral Shaper. That's way better. That's a much bigger payoff, and I get to play Aurora on a later turn. Maybe Setral's better. Like Setral, obviously, if they kill Huskforger, then I'm just dead because they attack with Glimmervale Lake, and I can't do anything. Oh, I could minus Setral and make an enormous token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could make a 6/6 token. I could shape for Setral. No, but that wouldn't work. I can't. I only have one Setral loyalty. I only have one Setral loyalty to work with, so I can't 0 and -2. Let me show you backside of Setral so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'd have a 1 loyalty Setral, Junie. I could +1 -2, but that make a blocker. I can't 0 and -2, which is what I need to do. So yeah. So in summary, the Airy play is safer because I'm probably not going to die the following turn, but it doesn't put me in a great shape in great shape usually. The Setral play is much riskier if they have a way to kill Huskforger, so that's it puts me dead to Sistral Charm, um, or Strangle, which the Aerie play doesn't lose to. But if it works, I get to keep a Setral Shaper, a Junie on board, which is going to win me the game very quickly, and I get to keep an Aurora in hand. Oh, it's so close. After I get Setral Shaper, I can also plus it before zeroing, because I get two activations. So that first plus could find me another Huskforger to chump with. I have none in my graveyard. So yeah, either way I'm dead to Geist Blasters, or it's pretty bad. One play loses to Sistral. It is only Sistral Charm, I guess, I play around by going for the Aerie play, right? They got 4 Sistral Charm, I think. And I only seen one of them, so having it's quite likely. But not guaranteed by any means. Have they had opportunities to use it before and not used it? I think maybe. Like last turn I played Set. Last turn they had 2 mana up. Yeah, wait a minute. Last turn I went for last turn was the turn I left up the teaming secrets, and I had Central Shaper in board, and they didn't kill it with Sistral Charm. And maybe they had Strangle in hand, they wanted to strangle it instead, but I still feel like they'd want to spend their mana there. So I think I'm going to go for the Central Shaper. I think that's a better path to winning. I lose a Sistral Charm, I accept that. Oh, I lose to Unravel Softs. I lose to Unravel Softs either way, though. They can bounce a Roar in the other case, force Chump Chump, and I'm in rough spots. So yeah, I'm gonna shake for Setral. I think I should take the higher risk play here. I'm behind. They're going, what are they humming about? And I think it's a Setral Shaper. I'm now going to cast the Setral Shaper. Oh my god. Oh my god, I leveled myself so hard. I forgot this doesn't actually play our own Overrule will. And I have to double chump. Oh my god, that was extremely dumb of me. Why did I do that? I need to go. Oh my god. That was extremely I forgot like they can just Overrule will here. And I can't Setral Shaper anymore. That was entirely my that was a throw. Okay, if I go for Aerie, yeah, they're gonna file Glimmervale Lake. I have to chump chump. Not strictly dead, but I need to draw some pretty good things. Ah, how did I miss that? I just like, oh, I'll play Central Shaper and then they can't counter it. But obviously they can still deal with it, even if they can't counter it. Okay. That's tapped, yeah. Okay. Clearwater Grotto. And that's just GG, right? Yeah, I can play Aurora. Oh my god. Okay, sorry guys, that's a complete throw. Just absolutely complete throw here. I can play a roar, but is there anything I can... There's nothing I can do to win from here because they can just still copy it. Yeah, GG. Oof. Okay. Sucks to lose a game to just a complete throw like that. Just didn't go for the line that I just completely didn't play around the card I knew they had. I needed to go get Airy, and obviously that can still go badly, but it didn't seem like they had much going on. Really sorry, really unfortunate. But we get to play on. We're 2-1. Get to play one more game, one more match, going for top cut. But that's it for today. Good night.